When I was 22 to 30, I was just a contractor. Okay, then along comes this magnificent change in my life. Two big things happened in my life. I get a coach that had nothing to do with real estate. His name was John Boehm. I told you about him. I've learned so many, this guy taught me so many things. The first thing John Boehm did is he forced me to delegate, which was awesome. And he was $500 an hour, by the way. And I was forced to hire him. I did not want to hire him. I was forced to hire him. And I'm so glad I was. That was a big, magnificent change for me. And then also I met Bethany Willis, okay? What I found in this phase of my life right here is I was working for a lot of Bethany Willises. What's a Bethany Willis? Somebody who was buying a house, fixing it, flipping it. I had a lot of clients that were fixing and flipping all in this valley. And oh my gosh, I feel like it's a whole world away. I feel like it's so crazy to me that that was a whole life of mine. And I drive around, I have memories and all that kind of stuff. It was a long period of my life. And in this period of my life, all of these clients, I realize it now, but I didn't realize it at the time, were doing this to me. What does this mean? Keeping me down, thumbing me down, keeping me away from flipping. I would ask questions, they would distract from the answer. I would go, hey, how'd you get this house? Oh, you don't want to know, you don't want to know, you don't want to know. Bethany Willis was the first client of mine that I was fixing and flipping that took an interest in me. It was like, why are you working for all these and making them all so much money? She's like, you know that house that you flipped for me last time? I go, yeah. She goes, how much money did you make? I go, I probably netted like $7,000 to $10,000 after all of my expenses. And she's like, I made 107. And who did more work, you or me? I was like, maybe you, I don't know. She's like, no, I found the house. I told you to flip it. I put it on the market. I'm done. I made 107 grand. It's like, holy crap. So this lady took an interest in me, right? This was a big change in my life. You guys know the story how I got my first deal, right? The bunnies. Okay, so Bethany Willis helped me get my first deal. And when I got that first deal, I'm 30 years old. So this is 11 years ago. And I get my first deal. I was more excited about having a house to sell Bethany because she bought the house for me. I was more excited about flipping the house for her and as a contractor than I was in the fact that I just figured out how to find a house. That my mindset was so messed up, okay? So she says, you are hereby fired from being my contractor. You and I just did a deal together. You made $25,000. What do you mean you're excited about flipping the house? I was so sucked into, this is how I make money. I'm a truck driver. I know this industry. I'm in logistics. I was so in this mind of like, how do I get out of it, right? So what happened was, Bethany says, if I were you, I'd shut down your whole construction company and double down on real estate. And I go, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know what I did is this is when I started my real estate business. Do you guys know when I quit being a contractor? 5 more years, I kept being a contractor and simultaneously running my wholesale Subto seller finance acquisition business, me and my wife. So I didn't stop what I was doing. I only grew here. And then what happened here is I accumulated 43 rentals Subto, and I was doing on an average about 8 to 10 wholesale deals per month, just me and my wife. Up until about 2018, so this is 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So what happened is, my largest client right here in 2018, I made the decision to sell every one of my 43 Subto rentals and my personal house to liquidate all of the cash that I had so I could recover from my largest client filing bankruptcy on me. I didn't file bankruptcy. He filed bankruptcy with over $1.5 million of my money. How? How did that happen? I was a contractor and I would go to other fix and flippers and go, hey, I'll flip your house and I'll cover your construction costs. You can pay me at the end of the project. This allowed me to grow very quickly. So I've always been really creative. And so I was running this company and simultaneously running my wholesale operation, doing a lot of deals. When was I doing my deals? I would look at my calendar. Do I have a problem with efficiency on my calendar? Sure don't. So I look at my calendar and I go, all right, today I'm doing an estimate over here in the West Valley. I'm doing an estimate in this part of the valley. This lady called me. She's wondering when I can stop by and give her an estimate. So I would set my appointments up and I would balance my life. I'd leave the house at 6. I'd get home at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Okay. And throughout my day, I would be multitasking both my businesses. So what happened is my largest client on September 20th, the day my daughter Corbin was born, I received his bankruptcy letter and I had to make a decision to sell all of my assets to pay my payroll. I went to Jamil and I liquidated all of my rentals almost in a week. And I got enough money that from September, October, November, and December, I basically called all my clients in that business. I said, I'm shutting everything down. I'm going to finish your projects, and any deposits that I have of yours, I'm giving them back. So I took all of this thing and I just said, I'm doubling down on this. What am I doing? I'm doing 8 to 10 deals a month in my free time. This is all I was doing. The reason why I could do 8 to 10 deals a month with just me and my wife is because I had sellers calling me. Spent 10 grand a month on leads. I had 10 to 20 calls every month, and those sellers were like, hey, I'm ready to sell my house. Do you want to come by and give me a quote? That's how I got in the business. I didn't cold call. By the way, I've only cold called 2 hours in my entire life in real estate, ever. Because I think cold calling is a waste of time. I think it's stupid. I think if you're going to cold call, hire a virtual assistant. What are you doing? It's the most inefficient thing you could ever do with your time is cold call. Because most of the time you're calling empty phone calls. You're getting in a 3-hour window, you're maybe getting 2 quality calls. Why not just, is your time not worth more money? So what I did is I go, this is crazy. I already know the solution. I'm just going to spend more money. And so I went from $10,000 a month in marketing to $20,000 a month in marketing. And I just doubled down on what I was doing. And I just killed it. And then I found a partner at the time. Now this business, I shut this business down in September 2018. I shut it down and I just doubled down on real estate. And I met a partner at the time, Cody Barton. And Cody and I partnered together and I rebuilt myself. And in less than 2 years, I had 112 rentals and I became known as a Subto guy because I was like, I have no money. I got rid of all the money I made from these. I paid off all of this to get out. And I started December 25th, Christmas. I had 0 credit, 0 cash, and I had 0 contracts closing for like a month. And I was like, I have nothing. I got a $20,000 a month burn, right? That's not a fun situation. All of us men have been in that situation at one time or another, like, oh, how are these ends gonna meet, you know? Okay, so I partner with Cody. Then I have a lot more time. Why? Because I'm not running a 150 employee business. Your trucking company is probably taking a lot more time than this business ever would take. You're just fearful of making the jump. So what would I do? Here's the part of the advice I would give you that you're not gonna like. You think I gave you the advice yet? I haven't. What I did with Cody, and now I own 9 businesses now, and this is just in the last 6 years, 600 employees. Our combined businesses do like 120 million a year in revenue. I take home 8 figures a year. I have a wonderful life. And it's because I stopped relying on somebody else's business. I thought this was my business. It wasn't my business. How did I know it's not my business? Because this person filed bankruptcy and I lost everything. So how do I own my business when my customer really owns my business? So really, do you own your business? No. This was the saddest realization. John Boehm told me. He says, you think you own your business, and the reason you won't make this jump is because this thing punched me right in the face. He says, you believe in another man's decisions more than you believe in your own. You have more confidence in your clients than you have in your own business. And so you're making judgment calls saying, daddy save me by taking on business in a business that you don't own because you're putting your eggs in somebody else's basket and you're afraid to just rely on yourself. It hurt my feelings, but I needed to hear it. And guess what I did with it? Nothing. It wasn't until this was the greatest day of my life. This guy filing bankruptcy and making me cry as a 35-year-old man 6 years ago changed my life. I lost everything. The universe is like, dude, we've told you. Over and over. You've had coaches tell you, you've had all these people tell you, it's time. We're gonna create a domino effect to make it so that guy loses everything, so he has to file bankruptcy, so you lose everything, so we can force you into the action so you can go change people's lives. And that's the greatest day of my life. All right, guys, so I just answered a question for a gentleman on a specific question he had regarding his business. It's really not algorithm friendly for this YouTube channel, so we're putting it on the Subto channel. So go over here, click this button, go watch that video on the Subto channel to see exactly how I answered that question. Now, please make a comment, give us a little bit of love, share this video with somebody else, and tell us what you guys want to learn more down in the comments so we can make better videos for you in the future. Thanks for the support. Later.